Welcome back to our last show at Good Evening KU. I'm Katie.
And I'm Kaylee.
And unfortunately, one of our crew members, Bailey, isn't here with us, and instead she's in Kansas City for a strategic communication project. So we're going to check in with her real quick. Hey Bailey, how's it going?
I'm here in KC at Populous with two of my group members. We have Brandon. Hello. And Carson in the background there.
Hi Brandon. Hi Carson.
Brandon's going to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing with campaigns and exactly what Populous is and the challenge they gave us.
We were given the awesome opportunity to work directly with Populous for our campaign's capstone class of the journalism school, where we actually are working directly with their collegiate football program to develop a strategic campaign in order for them to have the opportunity to rebrand and revamp their ability to get into client stores such as universities.
Awesome.
We're really excited. Wish us luck. We're about to present in about 30 minutes.
You're presenting in 30 minutes? That's crazy.
Yeah, so today this is what we've been working on all semester. We've met so many times, logged over 100 hours together, whether in the library, coffee shops, lots of caffeine to get us through. I'm going to see if our professor has a moment. David, if you had a second.
Okay, cool.
Just 1 second. So this is David. He's
Hi,
been
David.
our mentor all semester, kind of guiding us along for campaigns.
Awesome.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
We're all excited here.
It looks
we're
like you
getting
guys are
ready to go
excited.
at 5:30. We'll kick it off, and we've got like what, 5 teams,
Yeah,
6 people
cool.
each, all getting
Nice.
ready to give their final presentations, and I think after this, most of them are
Sweet.
done.
Yeah, this is my last big thing I need to do. I mean, I have a paper, but this is the main focus I've had all semester.
All of the classes getting ready to graduate and walk down the hill. What I think is cool is one student who is not has actually landed an internship. Did you know that?
Really? No, I didn't know that.
Do you know where?
No, here.
Here.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so
That's
we're
so
really
cool.
excited. We got a good bunch.
That sounds
Nervous,
awesome.
but anxious to get going, and yeah, it's going to be an exciting night.
Perfect.
Well, thank you.
You bet.
Well,
But
it was nice checking in with you, Bailey. We wish you all the best of luck.
thank you. I miss you guys. Good luck on your last show, and have a good one.
Now we're going to switch gears for a second
Am
to
I
weather.
good, Cal?
Currently, the weather is pretty humid here.
Okay,
There's
thank you.
speculation
Bye.
of
Hopefully
severe
I'm
weather
soon.
ahead. So we're going to go ahead to Brittany and Grant, who are out on I-70 right now, with the report.
As you can see, it is very windy outside right now as we have some potentially severe storms moving into the Lawrence area as of now. It was a little bit cloudier a few minutes ago, but now the clouds have kind of moved over to the northeast of us. And now you can see in the background, we have some fairly calm stratus clouds. So it looks like the storm could potentially miss us, but I'll give you more information on that. Let's go ahead and jump back to your weather headlines in the studio. You can see today was very warm and muggy overall, had a very sticky feeling outside with those high winds, but this evening it looks like the potential for the severe weather is going to increase. Although good news, as we head into your weekend, it looks like it's going to calm down a bit and clear skies, and temperatures are going to go into the mid 70s as well. For Lawrence right now, we're at a temperature of 83 degrees with those mostly cloudy skies and those high winds. So if you have any evening plans, definitely hold on to the steering wheel. You're going to feel the car shift. But going ahead and looking at your evening forecast, let's go ahead and start discussing that potential for severe weather. At 5 o'clock, we're going to be sticking at 83 degrees. 7 o'clock, we drop into the upper 70s. But by 9 p.m., the severe storms move into the area. And this is when things get very interesting, and you need to make sure you stay weather aware. We'll only drop down into the upper 60s by 11 p.m. though. So make sure you stay weather aware as we head into this evening. Here's your STC storm outlook. Out of the 5 ranking systems for ranking these severe weather potentials systems, we are in the moderate ranking, which means we have the potential for very large hail and even tornadic activity. So that make sure you definitely keep in touch and watch your local stations. Let's go ahead and look at a model forecast of the rain. Earlier we had rain and convective storms starting to build up around 3 p.m. today, but around 5 o'clock as of now, it's starting to move eastward towards our area, those storms that already have formed, and they should move out by about 10 o'clock tonight, leaving us for a calm overnight hours as we head into later on today into Thursday morning. Here's what you can expect though tonight. Hail, wind, and flooding will all be a possibility, especially flooding with the possibility of having very heavy torrential downpours at certain times. The evening commute will also be affected as you head home from work right now. And then a small chance of tornadoes is also possible. Can't rule it out, even though it is very small. You should still keep that in mind and make sure you have your shelter plans available. Here's your storm threats for tonight. Wind damage is the highest threat. We have straight line winds going in with this storm system. That's what we call a bow echo that you can see on radar. So main threat will be wind, but you can't rule out the large hail, tornadoes in general as well, with a medium ranking for those two. But changing over, going into some happier notes for the weather. Stop day forecast looks absolutely beautiful. Temperature's going to be in the upper 70s, sunny skies for your Friday on studying outside. And going into your weekend, also very nice. Temperature's going to warm up a little bit into the 80s on your Saturday with clear skies. And then Sunday, we're going to have temperatures in 79 degrees. Looking at your extended forecast, once we get through the end of the week, great weekend ahead, and even a calm start to your new work week. But before we go, I'm going to throw it over to Grant because we have some very interesting weather, and you're going to tell us a little bit about shelter safety.
Thanks, Brittany. Well, it's pretty scary to think about what you would do if you see a tornado when you're driving down the highway. Well, the KTA has a plan for just that. You may not have heard of them before, but they're sure getting a lot of attention now. The Kansas Transit Authority has 24 different public tornado shelters located at toll booth stations just like this one in Lecompton, all across Kansas. Now, with severe weather rolling in as we speak, it's important to keep in mind what's behind this door. If you're driving on the turnpike, what do you do in severe weather?
And you never know when weather can pop up, and it's relatively flat, so there's not really any place to get out of the way of a tornado.
Along the 236-mile route of the Kansas Turnpike, there are 24 hidden tornado shelters underground. If you're caught in bad weather, the Kansas Highway Patrol and the Kansas Turnpike Authority say to pull off the turnpike and into parking lots like these at the Lecompton interchange. From there, it's a short walk to the underground bunkers. Originally, KTA built the shelters to house KTA employees working the toll booths, so the size of the shelter directly correlates with the size of the toll station. That doesn't mean it's off limits to the public. Quite the opposite. KTA wants any motorist to pull in and stay safe if severe weather starts to twist in front of you.
I think it's really neat that they do have tornado shelters along the turnpike, given that we're in Tornado Alley.
Let me give you guys a little tour about what's inside these tornado shelters right here. I'll open up this heavy metal door here and take a few steps down inside the shelter. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is that it's pretty cozy down here. It's not very big at all. This shelter was designed to hold about 15 people. That includes both the employees and the public. Now, if we look around here, you'll notice it's pretty dark without that. With that door still open, but it's pretty dark in here. So there are a few emergency lights. This one's light sensing, so as soon as that door shuts, that one comes on, and then these ones will come on as well to kind of light up the area. Now, for a little bit more creature comforts, there's a gallon of water stored down here. This is in all of the stations across Kansas. Now, this isn't a whole lot, but it's designed to keep people tided over as the storm passes overhead. Now, if we crouch down here and look inside this blue container, we'll see some more things to kind of keep you sheltered, keep you warm. Here's a blanket wrapped up in plastic that helps keep it from getting any water damage, as well as a flashlight, some emergency cups, some batteries, a first aid kit, and a radio. Now, all those things are designed to help keep you aware of what's going on and keep you safe if you're caught in a tornado while you're driving down the highway. At the Lecompton Exchange, Grant Stevens.
Thank you, Grant. It looks pretty scary out there. I hope you guys are safe.
And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with the news.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. I'm Suke.
And I'm Alika. This is your Good Evening KU News Update.
The White House said on Wednesday President Trump has hired Emmett T. Flood, the veteran Washington lawyer who presented Bill Clinton during his impeachment and worked in the George W. Bush administration. He is going to replace Ty Cobb, the White House lawyer who has taken the lead in dealing with the special counsel investigation and has decided to retire.
The Puerto Rico Air National Guard plane crashed outside the Savannah Head International Airport in Georgia around 11:30 a.m. in Savannah, Georgia, during a training mission today. According to Georgia Air National Guard Captain Jeffrey E. Bezor, 5 people are dead and 4 are still missing.
Cambridge Analytica, the public and marketing firm that worked for President Trump and was involved in the misappropriation of 87 million Facebook users' data, is closing its office and shutting down all operation today. The firm and its parent company has reportedly struggled to recover from the scandal over the misuse of Facebook users' data, losing clients and getting buried in legal fees in recent months.
Starbucks and the city of Philadelphia announced separate settlements with 2 men whose arrest at a downtown Starbucks in April sparked protests and prompted an apology from the Seattle-based company. Starbucks said it would pay these 2 men an unspecified sum. Philadelphia, meanwhile, will pay each man $1 and fund a $200,000 grant aimed at helping local students who aspire to be entrepreneurs.
Stay tuned. Next, we will have a special guest.
Welcome back to Good Evening KU. My name is Harold, and I'm with a special guest. Miss Leti is joining us today. She is graduating this semester. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell us about, how you got to KU, where you're from.
All right, so I'm from Brazil. I'm an international student, and how did I end up in Kansas? Well, so my parents jokingly said that if I wanted to do journalism, I should do it abroad. So I applied at 7 places, and KU offered me the most money.
That's a good reason, because money is important with all these prices continuing to rise up. And your parents should know never to be, not try to be literal with a journalism student. We will take everything literally.
At face value.
So when you came to KU, did you immediately jump into Media Crossroads? Did you immediately jump into, how did you get started here?
So when I first got at KU, I was a comms major, because in Brazil they are kind of the same thing.
Okay.
And then I realized I hated it. So I applied for the J school, and we had a small orientation session, I guess, during spring, and Cal was there, and a bunch of organizations were just advertising themselves. And he talked about Media Crossroads and how it was at the Union, and I live in the scholarship hall, so that's uphill for me. So I just had there the day after, and I showed up, and he looked a little bit confused because that was a little bit into the semester, and I wasn't in any classes that required me to be there. And I was just like, I'm ready for it. Throw me at the Sharks.
And he just put you on camera?
It worked out.
That sounds just like what he did to me. I came down here and I said, Cal, I want to be part of, and he's like, all right, so you're going to be on the middle of the camera. So I'm glad we're in the same boat. I wasn't the only one. Were you involved in anything else besides Media Crossroads here?
I mean, I was involved in other things on campus that weren't necessarily related to the School of Journalism. Like I said, I live in the scholarship hall, so right now I'm a treasurer for my hall. And I was a resident assistant. For a year, I was a research assistant for one of the faculty members at the J School, and I did a independent study with one of the faculty members at the J School.
Okay, so since you've been a part of Media Crossroads, what's one of your biggest memories, fondest memories of Media Crossroads?
One of my favorite memories of being here. Oh, there was this one day that this woman, and I forget her name now, but she was something press related to Obama, and she was here, and she was so cool, and she was wearing this awesome outfit.
Like Olivia Pope? Like Olivia Pope?
Pretty much. And she looked like she was ready to rule the world, which I'm sure she did for some degree. And she has been to all these places all over the world. And I'm pretty sure her husband works at Politico, and they're just this power couple. And I got to talk to this woman, and it was so cool. It was awesome. So that was probably one of my favorite things.
And what about overall KU? What's one of your biggest memories here?
Oh my gosh, when I ran down Mass when KU made to the Final Four. I'm a big basketball fan, so that.
Are you?
So that most things are sports related. So that I cried a little bit when KU volleyball made to the Final Four. I was there when KU volleyball won the Big 12. That was also huge. So yeah, mostly sport related things.
So now that you're about to graduate, what advice do you have to younger classmen?
I would say that for underclassmen is to not, you are never too young to go to a career fair. You are never too young to get involved with an organization. You know what? Because if the first time you're going to a career fair, it's when you were a junior, when you could actually get an internship, you're gonna feel nervous. You're gonna look like an idiot with no confidence whatsoever. So you know what? It's better if you look like that when you're a freshman. So, so just go ahead, get your feet wet.
Great. So speaking of careers and moving on, what do you plan on doing after you graduate?
I will be a master's student at at Washington State University, a master's in communication. Yep.
And what do you plan on doing with that, degree? Do you plan on going to your doctorate? How do you plan on doing that?
So I plan to do research on how children and adolescents interact with media, especially television.
Okay.
And after that, I want to work in the industry for a little bit, then apply for my doctorate degree, and hopefully become a professor.
She's out here killing y'all. If y'all haven't gathered that from anything else, she's out here killing it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope that you are successful in everything that you do.
Oh, thank you so much. I wish you the same.
Thank you. I'm trying. Almost finals week. Well, that's all the time that we have. Stay with us, and we'll be back with your entertainment. And I will be joining you once again.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Welcome back. This is your Good Evening KU Entertainment Update. Once again, even though you're probably tired of seeing me, I'm Harold.
And I'm Kiera.
Kanye West is under fire this week after he made controversial statements on slavery at the TMZ appearance. West's comments sparked backlash from fellow musicians and fans alike and has sparked the hashtag If Slavery Was a Choice on Twitter.
Recently, John Legend was nominated for a Tony Award for a song he had written for SpongeBob SquarePants the musical. Wife Chrissy Teigen hilariously tweeted that she was unaware of the song and wondered if there were any more songs written.
Bill Cosby was found guilty on all 3 charges of sexual assault. Cosby was sentenced to 30 years in prison. Since his sentencing, the reruns of the comedian's hit show, The Cosby Show, have been removed from the air, as well as his accolades from Yale and Ohio State.
13 Reasons Why fans finally have clues on the show's new season. The Netflix drama based on the young adult mystery novel by Jay Asher released a new trailer on Monday, teasing the Season 2 debut on May 18th.
Well, that wraps it up for your weekly entertainment update, and I'm finally done for the evening. Next, we'll have another special guest.
Hi, welcome back, and today we have another special guest and soon-to-be KU alumna, Griffin Hughes. So you used to do Media Crossroads? Or what did you do, Good Evening KU?
Well, I did a lot of things. I started with Good Morning KU, a show way back 4 years ago. It used to be called 10 at 10. Doesn't exist anymore. Did that, Good Morning KU, Good Evening KU. I've created my own shows here. I've helped out with shows. Off the Boulevard is another one. So I have a diverse range of experience in Media Crossroads, and I've spent a lot of time here and in the old location of Media Crossroads.
So does it make you kind of feel old to see how this like has grown and changed over time?
It makes me feel old to talk to people like you who are new and are just starting to get these experiences. And I'm like, oh, I did this not a couple months ago. I did this a couple years ago. My first show was 3.5 years ago. So
Dang.
that kind of makes me feel old.
Yeah, that's understandable. So you did a lot with sports, right?
Yes.
So what were some of your favorite memories from doing that?
Oh man, that's a good question. Well, the first thing that comes to mind, I think, me and my crew drove up to Iowa twice to cover the men's golf team. We were the only ones that did that, still the only ones that have ever done that. It was a lot of fun, even though when I tell it, essentially the way it goes is we drove 5 hours in the middle of the night to Iowa at 7 in the morning to then walk 18 holes with the golf team and drive back. So when I say it, it doesn't sound fun, but it was a lot of fun for us when we did it.
I feel like the car ride would have been more fun than the actual golf tournament.
For a lot of reasons, actually, it was. It was cool. It was cool. It was just, 3 of us, and we were just hanging out and, listening to different music. And you learn everybody's musical tastes. I learned that mine was a lot different than theirs. So, and then I think we were all asleep at some point. So, you have fun with things like that, and those moments, I think, not necessarily, what happened in that golf tournament. Like, I remember that KU won, but I don't remember who the top scorer was. I don't remember who had a good day that day. I don't know if I remember exactly who their 5 golfers were, but I remember that moment. I remember the experience, and I think that's really the essence of college in general, is remembering experiences more so than just remembering, exacts of what you did.
Yeah, I can agree with that statement. Even as a freshman, that's all I've been told, is that it's more about like what you're doing than like what grade you get or whatever.
I agree with that.
So you're like very involved in Playmakers. What exactly does Playmakers do?
Well, we like to think that we do everything. As far as broadcasting sports, we certainly cover everything. As far as I talked about the men's golf, but there's so much more than that. Doing soccer, we've done tons of soccer, and that's my passion personally. So I've loved being able to do that in so many different ways, both doing it on the radio and doing live broadcasts of soccer matches. But we go. Obviously, we cover men's basketball and we cover football. We go all the way down to covering rowing. Covering some high school. We've done a lot of high school stuff.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So it's a point of pride for me to say that a small group of us that created this. We did so much. We covered so many different things in such a diverse range of sports. And so now, as we go forward, we talk to our potential employers, and they say, well, we might have you go out and do a swim meet. Can you do that? Say yes, we can do that. Not only do I know what swimming is, I have experience shooting, I have experience covering. It's something that's very valuable, and it's a decision we made early on that I'm really thankful we did.
So how long has Playmakers actually been going on here at KU?
The brand itself, the name, has been going on since 2015, I think. But the root of Playmakers, where it started in our heads basically the moment we got here, working with KJHK, doing their sports talk shows, and being introduced to television that early, as I was and the 2 guys that kind of built this with me. We were introduced to television early. That's where it started. And then when we changed the name, when we became the Playmakers, that was about 2015.
So if you could look back on all 4 years of your time at KU, what would be the best moment? Doesn't even have to be journalism related, but what was the best moment?
The best moment. So we're talking singular moment here.
Like the one memory you can remember more than anything.
Let me think. I think it might be the moment that I realized, and I guess this is kind of a cop-out, but the moment that I realized that we had something special with the Playmakers, and that we were actually doing something that could work. It wasn't just a one-off thing. It was like, hey, we can create this brand that's going to last a while. And I think that moment came when we were all, the 3 of us that created it, we were all kind of sitting together, and we realized, what, we love this, we love what we do, and if you love what you do, you can make something happen, and that's all we wanted. We realized we were passionate, We wanted it to happen, and it happened. And I'm never going to forget what we did.
That's awesome. Well, it was really nice talking to you today, but that is unfortunately all the time we have right now. Next, we go to sports.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back, I'm Mike.
And I'm Dylan. This is your Good Evening KU Sports Update.
Former Oklahoma quarterback Baker Mayfield was selected #1 overall in the NFL draft by the Cleveland Browns. Even though Mayfield had just won the Heisman Trophy, many experts were surprised to see him get picked first overall. The Browns said they saw Mayfield as the perfect fit for their offense going forward.
Kansas junior Dorrance Armstrong was selected by the Dallas Cowboys with the 16th pick in the 4th round, number 116th overall. Armstrong's pick marked the highest draftee for Kansas since 2010, when safety Darryl Stuckey was drafted by the San Diego Chargers in the 1st round with the 110th pick. In the remaining 9 games, Armstrong was among the best defensive players in the country and finished 2016 ranked 5th in tackles for loss and 18th in sacks.
After 3 consecutive seasons of prevailing in the Sunflower Showdown, the Kansas rowing team suffered a defeat to rival Kansas State on Saturday at Wyandotte County Lake. After their first weekend in 5 weeks, the Jayhawks will travel to Oak Ridge, Tennessee for the Big 12 Championship on May 12th through 13th, where they finished 4th as a team in the conference and 6th against the participating schools.
Stay tuned. Next we throw back to our host for one final send-off.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Welcome back. I know it's been a long show.
We have a highlight of this semester's show that Hayden and Bailey put together, and we're going to take a watch. Can you believe this is our last show?
That's seriously so crazy. It feels like we've been doing this for forever now, but
I'm definitely going to miss working with everyone and learning new things and being on camera.
yeah, it's going to be so weird this summer not coming here on Wednesdays because I've gotten so used to it.
And just, can you believe we started together and we're
I
ending
know.
together?
What do you know? That's so fun. But yeah, really going to miss it.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we can be on a show next semester.
Yeah, cross your fingers. Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day and enjoy your summer.